Welcome folks to the Roadster Rumble round number 3 tonight, thanks to Simworx Race Simulators. We are here live at Sandown International Motor Raceway for this 3-race format tonight. Let's take you straight over to the track as we see lone qualifying just wrapping up now. Brenton Hobson setting the top time of a 1 minute 20.314. Best of anyone out there tonight by over a tenth of a second. Boyd's there in second, Wood in third, and of course the two split categories with Wayne Losh looking like he's put on provisional pole tonight for Class B ahead of Steve McMahon and Moroz. So it's looking very good for the start of tonight's 3 20-minute races. Welcome aboard. My name is Luke. This is Race Stars TV. Hopefully you're all set for some MX5 action. You get involved in the chat tonight, and let's make this a lot of fun here for the Roadster Rumble. Say a few quick g'days. We've got Graham Ellis there tuning in already. Caleb Patterson as well. Thanks, Graham, for the stars. And g'day, Mark Foster. Jesse Carriage there as well. Hello, everyone that's tuning in on Facebook. Get rid of the music shortly. We'll go down and check out a few of the drivers. There's Glenn Boyd out there. Jesse is currently stopped on the track, lone qualifying, so it means there's no other cars to contend with, just themselves, and we'll go across quickly now and have a quick look at some of these qualifying times. So you can see Hobson's on top there with a 1 minute 20.3. The difference in time between the Group A and the Group B's tonight, it looks to be around 2.5 seconds around this Sandown circuit, so that's not too bad. That'll keep them in the mix tonight over the sprint race format, which should be pretty exciting. This track, since coming to iRacing, has really lent itself to some exciting racing. We saw the V8 supercars there on the weekend as well, of course, turning on the action, so tonight should be no different, hopefully. And of course, pretty big field of cars, 19 Group A drivers tonight, and as I do a bit of quick maths there, there's about 23 or so in the Group B as well, so it's a big field of cars, and should be a lot of fun. Like I say, these cars move around, they dance around a lot, and you'll see the drivers being able to correct them and control the cars well, and that's what we love about MX5 racing. So the 2016 Cup car tonight is the Group A car, and the 2010 MX5 Cup car is what's running in the Group B. So in about 40 seconds we'll head straight down to the grid for race number 1. We'll take you through that full grid as they start what is round number 3 of Season 6 of the Roadster Rumble. Season 6, we're getting into them. Let's enjoy this one tonight. Quick word from James Middleton. He says, good luck to Owen, Caleb, Simon, Fozzie and Graham. Have a great race, lads. Nice to have him sending that nice little message before we go live to the grid. I can tell you right now, this is it's cranking in my earphones, so I might turn it down a little bit. Might help me not go deaf. I'm so used to wearing a beanie through winter that now it's quite loud when you take the beanie off. But the good thing is, that means summer's on the way. It's starting to warm up a little bit now. Let's go straight down to the grid though. This is how they will line up for race number 1. Brenton Hobson, he likes to be on the pole position, and once again tonight he is right there on the front row with Jack Boyd. Nick Wood will start out of the second row with Caleb Patterson lining up alongside him. Oliver and Joel Smith off the third row with Dutch, Coleman, Ridley and Fenson. Your top 10. Scott Baker starts out of 11 with Glenn Boyd in 12th position tonight. Over the page, we'll try and roll through this pretty quick in case they catch us out. Edwards and Trappett down there in 14th, Turicino and Logan. Then it's Morgan, Doyle, Harrison and Losh. He's in 20th place outright and the pole sitter for Group B. McMahon behind him, Moroz beside him, Seeger and Canto round out that 12th row of the grid. And then as we head down to Graham Ellis Carriage, then you've got Forrest, Gordon, Pears and Martindale down in 30th place on the grid. Ferguson, Linus down in 32nd place, and it's Connors, Gogol, Paradiso and Doherty rounding out your 36, 37 drivers. Down there is Thorne with Rodkin alongside him. Then you've got Roberts, Nancaro, Thompson and Kennedy. Greg Holmes, our series organiser, starts alongside Walker at the back of the grid. Let's take you down now and turn the music off. Let's get set to go green for this first race tonight. Big field of cars here at Sandown. As you, do you expect any less for the Roadster Rumble? They do know how to get a turnout. Brenton Hobson will get the pole shot. Let's see if he can run it early down into turn 1 and try and stay ahead of the likes of Boyd, Wood and Patterson, who will be trying to get a whole shot from the second row. I would think Oliver as well. Watch him from the third row. He might try and just take advantage of the start, move up a few places as well. Bit of a long hold tonight. We're at a minute and 45 seconds as we're about to get underway now. So the final cars are on the grid. The revs rise here. Let's get set to go racing for the Roadster Rumble. Live from Sandown, round number 3 of season 6, and there's your green light and away. Plenty of tyre smoke as they roar into gear through their second, third and fourth gear. No contact to be seen so far. The swing out wide. Hobson's under a bit of pressure here as they go through. Boyd with him, tries to get through. We've got a spinner in the background. It's one of the, oh dear, was it? It may have been Keith, was it, that's gone around? Someone's gone around the background. Meanwhile, the front, clear getaway. And Hobson does lead from Boyd, Patterson, Wood, Oliver, Joel Smith, Dutch in there as well. Then Coleman, Fenson, Edwards, Logan did stay on the track, so he's up 5 spots into 11th. He didn't turn around. I think it was his teammate that went around after Logan. You got Cesario, and Doyle. Oh, big crash in the background. Now we've got a car on its lid. So huge moment at the back, and they've gone back to the pits as the Group B cars come through. Very, very wounded as well. Look at Hobson. He's been overtaken by Boyd as they go down through the S's for the first time, and Boyd takes the lead on this opening lap. He doesn't want to sit behind Hobbo. It's a 20-lap race, or 20 minutes, whichever comes first. Well, we're definitely going to see that 20-minute mark, so we'll keep an eye on the time tonight, and this should be pretty exciting on board with Jack Boyd, your race leader, coming through to take the flag and take lap 1 honours. Pretty happy with that to get ahead of Hobson. He leads by a car length as we go into lap 2 now. So interesting to watch. G'day Jody saying hello everyone. Thanks again for the broadcast. Love watching. Good to have you here as well. It's great to have you here. It's exciting stuff. MX5 racing, always exciting. Look at the run down to where we saw all the chaos in the VA supercars on the weekend. No worries here tonight. There is no mud out there to talk about. It's all pretty dry in the sunshine at Sandown. And Caleb Patterson with a great start, jumped a position. He's now chasing down Hobson. And Woods lost a position. Oliver, Joel Smith, Dutch and Coleman have all held position. Cameron Edwards has jumped up a few spots. He's now up in 10th place. Keith Logan behind him. Then it's Cesario back in 12th place. Doyle, Losh and McMahon. Pat Trappett tonight, brand new to this series, currently running in 16th place. Just noticed there's an issue with the paints. We're going to try and sort that out on the fly tonight. We'll do a reset on trading paints. Obviously it hasn't brought across a lot of the paints, unfortunately. Some of them are there, some of them are missing. So let me do my best to get that resetting again as Dylan Canto now sits in behind Trappett. Then you've got Seagut, Jesse's there as well with Mark Foster and Martin Dale. There's a crash. You can just hear the clunking of car doors and vent panels as they go through there. Someone going slow. It might be Tyson Gordon, is it? No, it's the car in front, Martindale. Now with a big lunge down the inside. This is the Group B drivers fighting it out over there. Top positions as they go wide. Just touches the grass and gets away with it. Meanwhile, back at the front. Here we go. Let's keep an eye on this. And the paints are reloading, folks. So shortly you'll hopefully see a few corrections there. They're pretty proud of their paints, so they should be. But the Simworx Jack Boyd entry. This series sponsored by Simworx, and it's great to see him out front having a cracking run right now. Patterson's got a good run here as well on Hobson in P3. We'll flick between the Group A and the Group B, but up the top of your screen you'll just see the leaders. Losh still leading that Group B class. Boyd under attack now from Hobson, and here he goes. So Hobbo down the inside, they go wheel to wheel through here. That's as close as you want to get. Door-to-door action. Look at the amount of road Boyd takes, but Hobbo's gone through, and Hobbo back into the lead of the race on lap 2, so they're going to just keep trading. In fact, it's lap 3, isn't it? They're going to keep trading as Hobbo's paint remarkably goes white and then comes back again. So we'll see a little bit of that over the next couple of minutes while it resets for the rest of the night. But Hobbo back into the lead of the race. Hobbo 88, fantastic live streamer and esports legend, really. He's been around for a while doing this, and we love seeing it now as Patterson gets a good run, gets alongside Jack Boyd. He might just try and get down the inside at turn 1. Let's see if he releases that brake and sends it down the inside, and he does. Beautiful job, moves himself now up into second. Caleb Patterson up 2 spots behind Hobbo, and now he's got Jack Boyd and Nick Wood tucked in behind. Further back you can see there's Cameron Edwards just dropped off the back of that top 7 now, and then Keith Logan 9th position, probably having one of his best runs so far at this Sandown circuit. 338 currently in 9th place. Anthony Connors battling here with Glenn Boyd. Glenn Boyd down the inside for Boyd Racing, moves himself up into the top 21. 1 now. And a couple of drivers to make some big gains. This man, our series organiser, Greg Holmes, now finds himself into 29th place. He's made 14 positions off the start. As he's doing a very, very nice job. There's a bit of chit-chat out there between the drivers as well. We might start having a little bit of a listen into some of that and hear what we'll see what's being talked about between them. But the top 7, you can throw a blanket over them. We're 5 minutes in now. We're on lap 4. So I predict probably an 18 or so or a 17 lap race tonight. Looking back on board with Hobbo. Ray Morgan's out, unfortunately. He said tow truck is nice. Driver said hi. And that is hard luck. James Middleton saying hard luck, Ray. How close is Caleb Patterson now to the back of Hobbs, and almost giving him a bit of Morse code on the back bumper bar there. So Hobson, Patterson and Boyd, your top 3. Then Nick Woods running really well. He did drop that position, but the Oz Filters racing car now, the 308. Tucked up with Aaron Oliver, Andrew Dutch and Coleman. Like I said, it's a bit of a gap back to Cameron Edwards, and you can see the distance he's got off that top group. And then further back, Simon Joel Smith, Keith Logan, all out of shape there. Gets it back under control, but will lose that momentum to Tesseriro. We'll work out how to pronounce his name one of these days. I'm sure he cringes every time I say it a different way. But look at this now, Caleb Patterson into the lead. And a good lead too, half a second. That's a good little dive down there. And now can try and pull away from Hobson. So hard to pull away in these cars. They're all evenly matched with the ability to slipstream around this circuit as well. It's like I say, it's tough to get away, but these drivers will do everything they can to make and break. Jared's in the house, says let's go Coleman. Join this one as we now just go back and have a look at the Group B competitors. Wayne Losh up into 14th out right now, leading that class. He's got a good little margin here over McMahon as well. And it's a McMahon train. Oh, where's Moz off to? No, sorry, that was the lap car. I think they just went exit stage right. Canto Seager went through. Jesse's gone through as well. Mark Foster and Glenn Boyd. And decent battle here with Canto. Check this out. Might jump on board with him and then look back. There's Damien Seager getting a good run. Will he dive down the inside? The MX-5's always smiling. Happy little race car they are. He's in 16th place now, so they've made some good gains. These competitors in the mid-pack. And someone who's just dropping back, or in fact, trying to regain himself. He must have had a spin at the start, which we didn't pick up. With Glenn Boyd, look at the front end damage on that car for Boyd Racing. He's now back into 18th place after qualifying 12th. Keith Logan as well, getting a good view of this battle in front with Doyle and Matty T. I think I'll just go back to calling him Matty T until, Keith into the back of Matty T, gives him a little bit of a nudge. And he says sorry straight away on the radio. So good sportsmanship. So easy to do when the braking zone just catches up on you. Matty T says, no worries, mate. We're good, let's keep on with it. So keep watching that timer. We're at 8.25 minutes already. Lap 7 of this first 20-minute race tonight. Back at the front, let's check it out. As Boyd and Hobson go wheel to wheel, jumping on board now with Boyd. Hobson will have the inside run, which he gets the job done back into second. Over the curve, they take plenty of curves, sideways action as well. Darren Moser in the house. Hello, Hollywood. How you doing, buddy? Hello to you and the family. Sandra and Axel, how you guys doing? It's been a while. So we see Caleb now continue on. Catching up to the lap cars now. Curry, the next one up the road in 39th place. He's about to be lapped. Ray Harrison's not too far up ahead of him. Did get that early tow with an incident 9 minutes into the race. Looking back again from Patterson's car. He got the fastest lap on lap 4. Since then, he's just been settling into a bit of a rhythm here, probably just trying to stay ahead and nice and neat. The back end just complaining slightly on turning there. Move out, got it under control quickly. Like I say each week with these MX-5s, they're one of the most controllable cars on iRacing. You can slide them around, move them around a lot. We didn't see the Hobbo expression session, which we normally see at the end of quali. But tonight he's got his head down and he's trying to make an attack here to get back into the lead, right onto the back of the P-plater. Caleb Patterson. They go over the curb there. You can see Jack Boyd in tow as well. Let's go back further now to Group B. Losher's got himself one of the faster Group A cars hunting him down as well. That's Glenn Boyd. The ding in the back, ding in the front. And then you've got McMahon, who's second in class, running 16th outright. Here comes Damien Seeger as well, ahead of Canto. They're wheel to wheel. You've got Jesse, Mark, Moz, and Scott Baker. Rounds out your top 22. Darren's busy. Back real life racing. We're back real life racing. I'm winding up Race Stars TV as we announced last week. Bring it to a close after 612 broadcasts. And 612 broadcasts since April 2020. So 2.5 years, 612 broadcasts. Winding things back, finishing up with the VFX. 2 more Thursdays to go, then finishing up there. And we're going to continue to do just a couple of series here and there, including this Roadster Rumble, that fit in with my current real life work commitments as well. So if you get a chance to hang out for the last 2 VFX, please do so. They've been a huge part of Race Stars TV over the last year and a half or so. But unfortunately for that series, it's just too late for me. And this guy needs his beauty sleep, unfortunately. Need a lot of it. As we've got a spinner in the background, Cameron Edwards, after doing well, spun the juiced Frog Leap racing car. He's not happy either. You can just hear him in the background.
Keep the radio quiet, please, boys.
Must have been something to do with the pit lane exit by the sounds of it, and Greg Holmes just asked him to rein it in, keep the comments to themselves. So I love hearing the comments. I know they ask them to rein it in, but I love when they get a little bit excited, hot under the collar as well. Darren saying, I'm hoping you're picking up the guitar again. I am picking up the guitar, doing a bit of guitar. That's one thing I do miss. And I mean, Race Stars TV was never meant to be 6 nights a week for 2 years of my life. I do miss coming home and having a bit of time to strum the old guitar. Got a brand new Axifix 3 sitting on my desk right here, and needs some love before I get set for another tour. So Hobson under attack from Jack Boyd again. Boyd down the inside, using the lap cars just to pin these little moves down as well, which opens a bit of an opportunity here and there. Patterson's going to maybe have a dive as well in behind Hobbs, and goes wheel to wheel up over the curb. How did they hang together? Look at Patterson in the background. Where's Hobbo? He's there somewhere. He's on the right hand side of Jack Boyd. There he is, wheel to wheel as they exit the corner. Classic stuff here in the MX-5s. I wonder if Patterson's getting a draft behind. No, he's not. So Boyd was able to move over and just block that draft, which worked well. But now Patterson goes to the left. He's going to try and go 3 wide here. You've got the windscreen wipers on. Look out. Is there rain coming to iRacing? There could be. I did see the windscreen wipers just go. Patterson back to the lead. They go wheel to wheel through here. Hold on to your hats. This could get exciting as Hobson back into the lead under brakes. What a great move that was. Hobson at his best. And he gets back into P1 here on lap 10, 13.25 minutes into this 20-minute race. So it's Hobson, Patterson, Boyd, Wood, Oliver's there as well, not too far behind. Then Coleman, Dutch, Joel Smith, Doyle, Keith Logan into the top 10 now for Logan. Great drive. And doing very, very well in the Southern Cross Racing entry. What's just happened there with Nick Wood? I just noticed he jumped up and down. I think he may have just disappeared slightly off our radar for a moment. He's back. Wayne Losh still holding out the Group B lead. 15th outright. Now McMahon's directly behind him, but has a couple of lap cars in between. That's Ferguson, 39th, sitting in between them, and Damien Seeger currently holding out that 3rd place. Mark Foster's off into the fence. The number 5 car finds the gravel down there and finds the wall. Oh, watch the rejoin. So he gets back out into the racing line, but Ridley goes through. There's another position there. So back to the front where well, there's so much action going on. Check this out. There's a run of 4 or 5 cars involved in this. Look at the big send. That was Jack Boyd from nowhere. Late on the brakes, gets himself back into P3. And the lap cars catching them out slightly there. Boyd was able to utilise that. Now he's got to get an overlap here with Patterson. They do hit quarter panels there. Front of Boyd's just hit the back end of Patterson's car, look how sideways he is too. The tyres do go off towards the end of this race. And I'll tell you what, if you want to get into iRacing, there's a lot of leagues out there, but this one, if you want to have fun in a car that is actually drivable, will slide around, correct, you can correct. Look, the windscreen wipers are back on for Hobson. I'm liking this. This is, to me, we're getting a bit of this from iRacing. They're teasing us. I think rain is not too far away. Wouldn't it be cool if they just dropped us on it mid-race sometime and we weren't expecting it. So look at the weather conditions. It's partly cloudy out there, 28 degrees, so a bit of humidity in the air as well. 20 degrees ambient, 28 degree track temp, but that partly cloudy makes me think that, hey, one of these days it's going to start to sprinkle, the sun's going to dive away and we're going to see these windscreen wipers on for real. How cool would that be? MX-5s in the rain here on slick tyres. Next level. They're already moving around enough as we look back at 3 wide. Coleman, Oliver and Dutch having a go. Let's look at Oliver. We'll jump on board with him as he goes wheel to wheel with his mate. Oh, he's right up alongside him, the 97. And Coleman hangs in behind for now, but wow, so close. This is for the 6th place. Meanwhile at the front, Hobson now with probably the biggest lead he's had all race. 0.8 of a second. Boyd too busy fighting with Patterson. Coleman still fighting with Oliver and Dutch here as well. Dutch got a good exit through there. And we'll watch both of these drivers in front. 16.25 minutes in. We should get another 2 or 3 laps in the race, taking us through to around lap 16, I would say. But pretty epic opening race here tonight. We've got 2 more of these to go. So don't go anywhere. Get yourself some nibblies, get yourself something to drink. This should be a good night of racing. And Matty T still holding on to 11th behind Keith Logan. He's driven very well tonight. Someone we haven't seen anything of yet is Graham Ellis. He's a great supporter of the channel. Currently sitting back in 31st place. Dropped 6 positions. He's behind Ray Harrison, so I think maybe caught up in that early incident. Andrew Thomas behind him, then Ray Morgan. And unfortunately it was... say unfortunately it was Fenson that he got involved with, but I'm not sure if it was Fenson. Fenson did drop back a heap of positions at the start, but I'm not sure if he was the one that they got together with. So get back, it's just started to gap out a little bit now, 17.5 minutes in. The battle for 5th and 6th place is where it's at. Those, oh, they hit panels. That's done some damage to Oliver, has it? No, to Coleman's car. So Oliver got through there, but look at the front quarter damage. Or has it popped out again? I think it's popped out again. iRacing's done the old pop in, pop out thing for the front damage on that MX-5, but Coleman and Oliver definitely making a hefty little whack there and getting away with it. Dutch in behind, backs out of the throttle, does he? Looks like he did. Needs to get a good run through here. He's also got Simon Joel Smith. Not too far behind, so right, we're entering probably the last. We'll get one more lap after this, I think. So lap 15 should be the final lap. White flag will pop out, and they're coming up on some lap traffic too. So this is the onboard of Hobson looking forward. So he passes 2 lap cars in the space of a couple of 100 meters there, and look at the lap car moving across on Boyd. Big block there, so Boyd won't be happy with that. I expect to hear a little bit of radio chatter. He's kept it quiet there, Boyd, but Patterson also had to make a huge dive there on the lap car and actually ran wide.
What are you doing, Philip?
So there it is. Oh, so unfortunately the lap car got involved there. Patterson's given him a spray, and he's lost a position to Nick Wood, who got through there as well. So we'll just keep the volume down there for a bit. White flag is waving, so 1 to go. This first of 3 races, 19 minutes in. Hobson looks like he's got himself a pretty good margin to start the last lap, 0.4 of a second at least. Let's see if he can go on with it. If anyone's going to have a crack though, Jack Boyd will. Coleman and Oliver still continuing to fight. Losh has still got a gap now of only 0.2 of a second, so the Group B battle, probably one of the closest we've seen in this series, because usually Group B is spread out quite a bit. But Losh and McMahon are going to go to the wire here. Scott Baker is a fair way back. He's the spinning car that we saw at the start of the race. Front end damage for the Southern Cross Racing. I thought it was Keith Logan, but it was actually Scott Baker, his teammate, who who was facing the wrong way at turn 1 on lap 1. So here we go. It's a good lead. Looks like Hobson's done enough to win this one with a couple of corners to go. He's put a lap car in between himself and Boyd as well. The gap 1.4 seconds. He's broken the back and looks like he will take the first win of 3 tonight. Thanks, Barry. There's some kind words there. You know what it's like, though. I've got this real world job that we all know about that takes 13, 14 hours in a day every day. No more sim racing. Righto, checker flag waves here for race number 1. Brenton Hobson takes the win, and a great job. Hobo 88 with a win over Jack Boyd, and Nick Wood gets through to P3. I think Caleb Patterson will be absolutely boiling, and he quickly ejects out of the car. He's straight back to the stewards to have a word to them about some of the driving standards for the Group B competitors. Here comes Wayne Losh leading Group B, heading down towards the S's, the back end of this Sandown circuit, and he's got a good battle with McMahon, who goes wheel to wheel with Baker. This is all for position here, so the top 3, in fact, Scott Baker's Group A, so count him out, but Wayne Losh and McMahon are fighting here for a 1-2 in Group B. Losh has got that now by 0.7 of a second, should be able to go on with it. In fact, the fact that Baker's in a quicker car there fighting for position is actually going against Steve McMahon's chances of getting P1 in class. But put your hands together for Wayne Losh, because he has done it. He's won the Group B first race tonight, so excellent effort. Baker, McMahon, Ridley, and then Seeger rounds out your 5 there. Oh, and a blown motor across the line on one of the cars too. So there's race 1 run and done. We'll get some results up for you in a sec before we go straight down to the grid for race number 2. So Group A results up on the screen right now. Let's in fact just go to Group A. We won't do the overall results. So there's your top 18 for the Group A in race number 1. A 1.7 second win there for Hobson over Boyd and Patterson. Then Group B, this is Wayne Losh ended up 1.1 seconds ahead of McMahon and Seeger. Your top 3 in Group B. Let's go down and check out a little bit of the grid here for our second race tonight. And it will be Hobson on pole position with Jack Boyd P2, Wood and Patterson off the second row with Coleman and Oliver, Dutch, Joel Smith, Doyle and Keith Logan to round out your top 10. 11th on the grid, it was Matty T with Cameron Edwards in 12th place. 13th will be Boyd. Trappers down there in 14th, and it's Wayne Losh, the top Group B competitor, starting alongside Scott Baker, McMahon behind him, Ridley as well, Seeger, Canto, Moroz, Carriage, Connors and Linus. Let's get rid of the music. Let's get rid of her. Turn it up as we go green for race number 2. And they jump straight in. Good start there from Hobson. No wheel spin. Jumped ahead nicely of Boyd. And in the background, we just hold our breath as 43 very angry little MX-5s take off down towards turn 1 here at Sandown. We got Jack Boyd in a bit of trouble, I think. Oh, we got a spinner in the background too. Boyd's lost a stack of positions. 5 positions, in fact, at the front. Oh, and we got another spin. Logan was involved in that one. And there's a car in the middle of the track. That could be Matty T facing the wrong way. And they all just bunching up, trying to find a way through. We've got to take some time. In the background, someone also crashed. We've got to get everyone slowing down there. You can hear Greg on the radio saying, slow down, slow down. There's a track blocked up ahead. Oh, we've got a safety car. So there you go, safety car is out. Hobson will be the first car here that has to slow down. Single car, no overtaking. And the first time they've used what we call a virtual safety car in iRacing, which just means the field will bunch up behind Hobson and they'll go again shortly. They use this in a lot of non-league racing, this system. It's great. We saw it at the V8 Vets at the Nordschleife as well, where they can just call the lead car as the safety car. And it saves a lot of time. With the proper iRacing safety car, you lose basically 3-4 laps straight up. And a lot of wasted time. These short races, we can do what we're doing here and have the leader just hold position at 60 kph. And the rest of the field bunches up behind. So he crashes at the start there. Some drivers we lost, unfortunately, I think going to get their damage fixed now. Edwards, Logan and Baker or with too much damage on the car going in for their stop, unfortunately. So we just hold station for a moment. Under yellow here at Sandown. So our first caution of the night. Let's have a look at who made some jumps there. Billy Martindale made up 26 spots at the start of this race, and that's incredible. From the back of the grid to 16th somehow. So he threaded the needle and got through all that melee at turn 2 or 3, and hence why he's moved all the way to the front. So there's Hobbo on board with him now, looking back. I presume we're probably going to go green down the back straightaway here. We'll just try and listen into a little bit of race control. Wait for the call. So some other drivers have made up good positions. Ray Harrison and Ray Morgan, the two Rays, made up a stack of positions there. Fenson made up 17 as well after what happened to him in race 1. They're doing a nice fair thing here. They're letting those cars that are in the pits come back out, catch up to the rear of the field before we go back to green, which will just help everyone stay in the race, which is a good inclusive thing after, you know, you want to be there. You don't want to be just racing yourself all race. You want to be racing against someone, so it's good that they do this.
Is the car, are all the cars now in their proper places? No, we've got one more coming through.
So this week, Race Stars TV, just the two broadcasts this week, tonight and Thursday. And I think we've got a Pro Series coming up as well next Wednesday from memory. So if you're looking forward to that sort of thing with the Pro Series, which has been a lot of fun, that'll be Wednesday the 31st. So we've got one more Roadster Rumble next Monday, then the Pro Series, and then the very final TaipanEvents we'll be doing on Thursday the 1st of September. We're about to go green. So you just hear the countdown then from Greg Holmes in race control. And we are back racing here. So 4 minutes into the race, Hobson leads, and that advantage that he had of over a second has now been eaten away. We'll see the change in weather conditions here as the clouds come across. There's damage on the front of Patterson's car. I didn't see where he did that, but obviously the start of the race somewhere he's collected either a fence or another car. Just that front right is beat up. Or hurt him in a straight line. Coleman will try and gather. Oh, what's happened here? Oh, okay, so I see what they've done. I think they have dropped Group B back, which is a little bit what they used to do with the rolling starts. They would put quite a gap between Group A and Group B, and they've done that again tonight. They're quite a bit slower. They do sound a lot more pedestrian, these Group B cars. That's exactly what they've done. So they've just gapped the two groups apart for the restart. If we show the track map, that should give us a good indication of where they are. Group A just heading down the back straightaway now. Group B just getting to turn 4. And Hobson under pressure. Let's jump on board with him. Spinner in the background, Nick Wood. Big spin for him, and he's going to try and come back into the field of play here. But look at the closing speed. He's going to lose probably another 4 or 5 positions. End up behind Keith Logan. Maybe Cameron Edwards will get him as well, and he does. Edwards goes through now into 16th place, and Nick Wood with that slide goes all the way back to 17th, which is unlucky. Cold tyres though on a restart. You just got to be a little bit patient, and he wasn't. So hence he's now outside the top 10. Ridley, Trappett fighting here as well over 10th place. The newbie into the series is this man right here, Pat Trappett, sitting in 11th place. So he'll be enjoying this almost in the top 10. He's got his proudly sponsored logos on the door of the car as well, which is good to see. Plenty of damage on the front though. Meanwhile, back at the front, it's a 2-horse race. Hobson and Patterson have pulled away from Coleman to the music of about 3 seconds at the moment. So this too, So checking out, Hobson did a 1:20.6 last time around. Patterson was only 4 1/1000ths off him. So far Hobson's looked pretty good in race 1 and so far in race 2. Can Patterson steal it away from him? We've got a big crash, I think, back of the field. So Rodkin is in the fence, Holmes as well. So yeah, they've got plenty of damage, those two. Unfortunately, a couple of Group B competitors getting together. Patterson, new fastest lap of the race now, tucked up behind Hobson, has a look to the inside, and he should go into the lead of the race. He does. So now it's Caleb Patterson leading after doing a 1:20.423 fastest lap of the race. Into lap 4, great driving. Into lap 5 now, 7:37 minutes into this race. Love that, 7:37. Popped up on my screen there. Brad Wooten says $5 for someone to take out Losh. He's leading this Group B again. Hobson coming back at the leader. Hobson back into the lead, side by side. So good fight. Hobson too strong. Back into the front. In the background you can see Boyd, Coleman and Oliver. I remember them Dutch, Simon Joel Smith. Further back, Doyle, Ridley and Glenn Boyd now on the march forward. Ray Morgan up 19 spots. That was Keith Logan, I think, into the fence. So Keith's gone off and we'll have to reverse the car, then spin it round. He'll drop outside the top 20, I think. He's just ahead of Losh. Here comes Losh now, flying through the Group B competitor. So he loses one position there to a Group B driver. Oliver does a new fastest lap of the race and now brings himself into play with Coleman. So Oliver does a 1:20.31 on the previous lap gone by. So good quick lap times by all of the top 10 here, really. All of them pretty similar in lap time. These two out in front though, gapped by now 3.3 seconds from the rest of the field. Now put the timing screen back up. We're now halfway through this second race of the evening. Let's go back to Group B for a moment. This is Losh well ahead now of Keith Logan, Seeger and Carriage. So Damien Seeger obviously the next competitor in Group B. It's a Group A car in front of the WBT racing car. It has Jesse, 21st Darren Linus, 22nd place, up 2 spots. We give Ray Harrison another wrap here because he's really fought back well in this race, up 12 positions at the start. He's one that kept his nose pretty clean. Has got a bit of a scuff on the right hand front border, but he got away with most of it to move his way through. Back at the lead though, Hobson, Patterson. They're like a couple of little Fox Terriers having a little run around the playground here. These two by themselves, way out front, 3.3 the margin, but they haven't looked like faltering. I'm wondering if Patterson's just starting to just weigh up the options, really follow Hobbo into the final lap. Maybe the place to be. Hobson is very fast down through the S's at the back end of the circuit. And he takes a lot of it too. I'm not sure how far you've got to go to get an X. Maybe someone that's raced here in iRacing can let us know, but Generally, they're trying to go through a full race here without getting an extra and off track. It does gain you some extra championship points. So I'm surprised he can. If you watch this time around, watch how much he gets all four wheels all over the curb. Obviously gets away with it. So he's worked out very quickly how to exploit or how to use all the track, which is what all race drivers do. See that? All four wheels over the ripple strip there. As they once again run out wide, all four wheels off the circuit. So it'll be interesting to know if they're still on that 0 incident points, because I think it gains you an extra 5 championship points as they leap over the curb. Again, oh man, he was wide through there, Patterson. That did trigger, I think, an off track for Patterson. That was super wide. In the background, Boyd's just closed the margin slightly with Coleman and Oliver. They're pretty gapped out, this front group. Glenn Boyd's now got himself into the top 10. Bit of Sean Doyle, who's in 10th place. So 2 Boydies now back into the top 10. And Kyle Ridley just does a new fastest lap of the race with a 1:20.1 on the lap there for the Elite Juice Racing team. Excellent job. Pat Trappett now in 11th. He's got Fenson really barreling along behind him. Henry Fenson has made up 21 positions in the race with Ray Morgan up 18 as well. So I think Trappett, who's on debut for the series, might find himself under a bit of pressure here from a couple of veterans of the Roadster Rumble. Parks the car right in the middle of the racetrack to make it as hard as he can for Fenson to find a way through. Nice driving. Driving there, made his intentions clear down the back straight. Big dive from Nick Wood down the inside on Ray Morgan and gets the job done. That was a great little overtake. Morgan will fight back the position though, and we'll have the inside for the next run. Good racing between these guys. That's really, really good neck and neck racing. Fair, clean, entertaining. Good job. Back at the lead, Hobson's got a half-second advantage now. It's the biggest we've seen in a while. We've got Scott Baker in there. Looks like he's in P3, but he's actually not in between those cars now. There's a couple of lap cars. In fact, Walker's there as well. So 2 lap cars between 2nd and 3rd place in that little buffer of just on 3.2 seconds. So it just helps the top 2 focus on their little battle that they're having and not worry too much about what's happening behind. He's out to 7/10 now between the top 2, so he's pushed that margin out even more. Meanwhile, Losh is under some pressure. He's got Damien Seeger right behind him. Teammates, of course. WBT Racing teammates. They'll be enjoying this running around 1st and 2nd in class. Will there be any team orders? Probably obviously want to get top points for the team. Keith Logan's just in front of them, but they're well ahead of Jesse at the moment. 4 seconds. The margin from 1st and 2nd in this B class. Back to 3rd place. Jesse Carriage has done well tonight. Then Mark Foster, Darren Linus is in behind there as well. And Steve McMahon on the toe of Linus. Matty T further back. Then Anthony Connors, Graham Ellis back in 26 has had a good run in this 2nd race tonight, up 6 positions into the top 26. And it's Moz and Gogol back in 28th place. Davey, Red Bull car there ahead of John Thorne and Billy Martindale up 12 spots to round out the top 30. Bit of radio chatter from Patterson there. I wonder what that was about. Still can't seem to close that gap now. It's 8/10 close the gap to the race leader. We've got probably 2 laps to go at the end of this one. The sun comes back out through the clouds and bursts a bit of life onto this track. Dynamic sky, so the track temp should be changing with this sunshine reappearing. There's a lap car there, forces Hobson to take quite an aggressive turn into the corner. Good format this after the 1-hour race last week at Suzuka. There's 3 sprint races. We're back with the short, sharp, exciting races tonight. Hobson, Patterson, Boyd, Coleman and Oliver, your top 5. Let's watch this battle for 5th place because Aaron Oliver is under some pressure now as they start lap 12. Like I said, it's going to go even shorter this race because of the safety car period. We're going to see it reduced by probably a couple more laps. Simon Joel Smith has just got the job done beautifully. Aaron Oliver. Jeff Andrew Dutch in the background too. He's looking very racy. We'll jump on board with him. Windscreen wipers are on again. Who's getting excited for rain? It's coming. I can tell you right now, they're working on these things. They've implemented the windscreen wipers into iRacing now. I reckon they get a bit of dust and dirt flicked up on the window, which is what sets off the wipers. Soon it's going to be proper precipitation on the windows. That's what will be triggering the wipers. That's what we want to see. A long time coming. Let's go and watch Hobbo here. Let's see if he gets the white flag. He might get 2 to go. Happening in the 1 minute 20, so we've definitely got enough time for 2 more. The flag marshal, he's not doing much, so yeah, definitely another lap to go. This guy up here, he picks when it's white flag or not, and he's gone, nah. Stay racing for a little bit longer. This guy's got no idea what's going on. He's saying, hey, MX-5s, give me a go, he says. Yeah, I could drive a ride. I reckon I could get around here pretty quick. Anyway, I'll tell you the other guy I love at this Sandown circuit. I'll show you this guy. Pro photographer. Our pro photographer. Check this. He'll take a few snaps here of Boydie or someone coming through. He'll check his camera. Go, yeah, look at that. Pretty good. Maybe he's not the guy. Maybe he doesn't check his camera. It's this other guy that checks his camera. This guy here, he loves checking the camera shots. Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, one of my best. There it is. Yeah, one of my best for sure. Got Hobson there in a big slide. Hobbo's got some traffic to deal with now, and he's got Patterson right on his backside. So look at this. Having to cut through the B-class drivers. He gets a couple of them there in the space of a little straightaway. This time he will get the white flag, but Patterson back within 4/10 now and ready to pounce. This will be one glorious last lap we're about to see in this second race of 3 for the Roadster Rumble, round number 3 here, season 6. Can Patterson do something here on the last lap? And I can tell you there's a stack of cars up the road. What's happened to Hobbo? Just disappeared. Disappeared off our screen. Surely he hasn't had a disconnect there. He's dropping down the order, and that's not good at all. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to quickly go over to his Twitch and see what's going on there with Hobbo88. That's not what we want to see. He's doing ads at the moment, so he hasn't reappeared, has he? So Patterson leads, Boyd second. Hobson has dropped down and showing 15th place at the moment, and I don't know if we've got him. I reckon he might have had an internet failure tonight, because I'm just watching his Twitch just to see if anything's happening, and I can tell you what, it's a black screen over at Hobbo Land at the moment, so that's unfortunate. He hasn't reappeared, has he? So no, I reckon he's had a disconnection error there. Caleb Patterson's going to win this one, unfortunately at the expense of Hobbo, but he comes around to take the checker flag in race 2. Jack Boyd will get P2. Good run from Boyd tonight. Coleman is going to take out 3rd place in the race, with Simon Joel Smith just outside the top 3, getting 4th. Kyle Ridley, great run in that race, made 13 spots up for a top 5 finish. Dutch will come through 6th with Aaron Oliver. Glenn Boyd now into the top 8 for that race, with Nick Wood and Fenson running out your top 10. Henry Fenson, one of the best drivers there, 23 spots for a top 10. We go back further to find our Group B contenders, and it is the 2 teammates still, Wayne Losh and Damien Seeger, 17th and 18th, fighting over this position ahead of Matty T, who's a Group A driver anyway. So it's a good finish. Will they just hold station, or are they happy to fight these 2 teammates for WBT racing? They're probably just going to hold station here and at least lock in a good 1-2 in class. A couple of corners to go. Wayne Losh has been really above par tonight. He's driving superbly. He's going to take the checker flag for race 2. Good photo finish for these two. Go side by side across the line. And it is Losh ahead of Seeger for your winners of Group B in race 2 tonight. So fantastic job. We'll head over and we'll get some results for you shortly. We've got usually a quick break, quick toilet break between the second and third race tonight. Usually a 5-minute warm-up, but we'll put those results up on the screen for you to have a quick look at. Overall results showing right now. Patterson with a good win there, 3 seconds. Not sure what's happened to Hobson, but sadly I think he may have had a disconnection and he's dropped out of this second race. Let's hope he can get back for race number 3. Quick warm-up session underway at the moment. No real cars out on the racetrack, but reading a couple of comments there. Caleb Patterson says, feel bad for Hobbo, but man, feels good to be on the top of the podium for the first time. Well done, Caleb Patterson. And Scott Baker says, let's take bets to see who hits me in race 3. There's been a bit of contact out there. It's one of those racetracks, MX5s, you know, they're going to break different spots. There's going to be different abilities out there, and well, you always get the odd little crash, don't you, in iRacing? It's part of iRacing. It's like a battlefield out there sometimes when you've got 40 or so MX5s. It's pretty exciting, especially when it's the Roadster Rumble. Always fun. So about a minute to go in this warm-up session. Like I said, no real cars out on the track. I think we've got Tyson Gordon out there. I think there he is. Tyson Gordon's doing a couple of laps here, getting his eye in, ready for race 3. But everyone else just choosing to have that little break, maybe grab a few nibblies and a drink, go to the bathroom. Damien Seeger says a team 1-2, great drive by the WBT drivers tonight to take first and second in class. So we'll be back with you in about a minute's time. We go live for race number 3. race 3 time for the Roadster Rumble, round number 3, thanks to Simworx Race Simulators and all the great sponsors on the right hand side. Well then, RIP, says Brenton Hobson. Mate, hopefully it's nothing serious. Hopefully just an internet failure and not a whole PC failure, but we missed you in that one. That sucks. But anyway, we got race 3 about to get underway as the drivers slow down now, pull up. Oh, it's a 7-minute warm-up. They tricked me tonight. 7-minute warm-up session. Gives them a little bit longer just to sort themselves out. That's Scotty Baker there doing a practice start, which is a handy thing to do. Internet outage, says Hobbo. That's not good at all. Fire up the 4G. When I first started Race Stars, I used a bit of 4G. I was a bit worried about things happening with the home internet. Touch wood, everything's been alright ever since. I think we've had, in 611 broadcasts, I've had the internet go out twice, I think. And both times come back on pretty quickly, but it does usually require re-entering iRacing, etc. So it looks like we've lost Hobbo for the rest of the night, which is very unfortunate. But like we heard before from Caleb, wasn't he? He said, "I'll take that." Awesome. He didn't say it like that. He said, "I feel bad for Hobbo, but man, it feels good to be on the top podium for the first time." And you got to be in it to win it. Did I get to year 1 of stars, Luke? Keith, let's have a quick look. What does it say there, Keith Logan? It doesn't say, in fact, Keith. It doesn't say how many weeks in a row, which is interesting. It used to say that, but it's Facebook, man. Facebook keeps changing everything. I can't even keep up with them anymore. So thanks, Scotty, as well, Scott Baker. We should be ready to go to the grid now for the final race of the evening. This is how they will grid up. It will be Patterson off the front row, Boyd out of P2, Coleman and Simon Joel Smith, second row, Ridley, Dutch, Oliver, Boyd, Wood and Fence in your top 10. Travis starts from 11th, first night racing in this series tonight, doing very well at 12th for Edwards. Behind him, you've then got 13th on the grid, which is Doyle and Morgan. Harrison and Logan will start from 15th, 16th. Losh and Seeger. WBT Racing lockout there of the 9th row for Group B. Matty T, Foster, Carriage and McMahon in 22nd. And it's Linus and Connors down there in 24th place. 25th on the grid goes to Graham Ellis, Moz, and it's Hobson showing 27th. Not sure if he's out there or not. I don't think he is. Thorne, Ferguson, Pears, Baker, Gogol, Doherty, Gordon, Martindale and Paradiso down there as well. We wait now for the green light. We won't get through the full grid. Let's get set to go racing for our third race of the night. And there it is. We get underway. Plenty of tyre smoke. Good start from Caleb Patterson at the front. They go 4 wide. There's someone fishtailing up the middle of the racetrack. I think that was Andrew Dutch. Jack Boyd swings it out wide but can't get the move done through turn 1. Oh, big contact there between Nick Wood and I think it was Boyd, or even, we've got a couple of cars around there. Coleman was one of them. Wood's gone way off the circuit. He's rejoining. Oh, and another spinner. A car goes across the front of Wood and cram into the front of him. Unfortunately, we've now lost 3, 4, maybe 5 competitors in this opening melee of cars. And me. Not the start you wanted to see. Martindale's made up a stack of positions, but that's Ferguson in fact in trouble. He's off the circuit and ejects to the pit lane, so unfortunately we've lost him. So Keith Logan made up 7 spots into the top 9 off the start there. Benson dicing with Edwards in front as well. In fact, he's dicing and disappearing at the same time, but Patterson, perfect getaway, being hounded now by Boyd, P2. Simon Joel Smith, Ridley, Dutch, Boyd holding position. 2 Boyds in the top 6. Now let's look how wide Boyd goes, carrying some speed out of there. So, wow, good start. Hobbo missing next week too, so out of the championship. That's not good at all. Very disappointing. Just try and pick up Simon Joel Smith in 3rd spot. Let's jump on board with him as he bounces around the curbs there. Incredible. As Just looking back a bit further in the pack as well, Seeger and Losh, the two WBT racing cars, have turned their positions around this time. It's Damien leading Group B from Loshy, and then Foster tucked in behind in the white and green car, the Foz Rig racing car, sitting in third in class at the moment. Back here is Edwards gets ahead of Fenton. Down the back straight, the sun's shining again here at Sandown. This is the battle for 7th place. They have dropped off the back of Glenn Boyd though. And a fair way back, Keith Logan goes wheel to wheel and right off the circuit there. Trappett and Boyd would have enjoyed watching that, no doubt. Probably saying give that position back. A bit of nose-to-tail contact between Doyle and Trappett there as well over 10th place. I wonder if Keith is just letting them know he's got to slow down. I think he does, so Keith definitely having to deal with that slowdown. Drops back now a couple of positions. And he was all four wheels off the track and more, and hence we just see him having to give it up and now fight back from that 11th place. Aggressive from Doyle, swings to the outside. He'll try and go the long way around here at turn 1. He gets up alongside Trappett, but Trappett stays ahead, gives him another bump for good measure. Keith Logan has a look at that, goes down the inside on both of them, tries to get a 2-for-1 deal, gets a 1-for-1 deal and stays now ahead of Doyle. So there's a bit of bumping out there between these MX5 drivers. No love lost onto the back straightaway. Trappett 9th, Logan back in 10th, Doyle drops back now outside the top 10 into 11th. Meanwhile at the front, Boyd leads from Patterson, so the lead's changed again. Patterson back into the lead, they're dicing side by side, out of shape. Caleb Patterson gets it all sideways, gets it regathered again into the braking zone down the bottom of the hill. And Simon Joel Smith getting a great view of that one. Glenn Boyd's gone around. He's off in the gravel and he's, just avoids the tyres to get back onto the track. Will drop down to 8th position. Jack Boyd, incredible drive out in front. Turning it on now with Patterson. Let's have a listen to this. Continues. Lap 4 now, nearly 5 minutes into this race. Andrew Dutch back in 5th has got a new fastest lap of the race too. Patterson's about to challenge Boyd again for the lead. We will tuck back into the Group B competitors shortly and go down the field through a few of your favourite drivers. But exciting stuff here between this top group of 5 cars. Just edged away now from Fenton and Edwards. Further back, Anthony Connors in a good battle here with Foster and Moroz. Here we go. Let's jump on board Moroz. He gets a good look at this. The back ends of these cars, they lift off oversteer. It's great to watch. So much fun to drive. We all had a crack at one point or another in these MX5s when we joined iRacing. A new fastest lap at the top there for Patterson as well. Just does a 1:20.7. That's quick. But MX5, the entry class when you come into iRacing was these or Skip Barbers. A lot of people chose to do plenty of laps in these cars, and you do learn a lot of racecraft. They're not as quick as a GT3 car or something like that. They're good for just learning the crafts, honing your skills, and then having an incredible series like this to back it up. It's just so much fun. I remember doing I think my first ever race in iRacing was these cars around, I think Summit Point from memory, or Lime Rock. I think it was Summit Point. Lot of fun. Back at the lead battle. Here it is. So Patterson now leads Boyd. Behind them, Simon Joel Smith has Ridley for company. He's looking menacing as well. They go through on a lap car there. That's Paradiso getting out of the way. Leap over the curves, up on 2 wheels again. This is your 4th place driver. We're on board with Keith Logan's had another moment down there and spun the car sadly. We'll drop down further. such a good run tonight as well. He's going to drop in possibly behind Seeger here. This is the Group B competitors. They just back out of it. So Damien leading his teammate Wayne Losh, who has so far tonight got 2 from 2 in the Group B class. He's driven superbly. Further back you can just see these battles unfolding. Aaron Oliver trying to fight his way back through after a terrible second race. He's now back to 20th place. In fact, no, sorry, it was this race. He dropped it at the start. I think maybe a bit of collision with another competitor, dropping himself way out of contention. Now fighting back, but Caleb Patterson in front here. Still the fastest lap of the race on lap 4, and now into lap 6. Carries all that speed down the hill. That's where you can get a slowdown if you're not careful. Now, did Ridley take too much of the curb there? He is on the radio. I wonder if he's just saying he's got a slowdown. He has. So I thought he went wide. He's paid that time back to RS, and they ask you to slow it down and give some of that time back. Looks like he's done that. But, whether or not he gets pushed a little bit wide there as well, and that's why he's jumped on the radio. But look there in love and war between those two. 8 minutes in now. Let's go all the way back to this battle between Steve McMahon and Wayne Losh, P2 in class. So this is all for position on the podium. These top 3 drivers for Group B we're watching right now. The class leaders at the top of your screen. Patterson leads Group A. Seeger leading Group B. That's Seeger leading this little trio ahead of Aaron Oliver in the background there, trying to catch up and get himself somewhere back into a respectable position for a Group B car. Bianca says, go Tyson Gordon. Nice new car. Let's have a look at Tyson's new car. Currently sitting in 30th place. Good livery on the car, looks beautiful. Taps NT Racing, a bit of damage on the front, but thanks Bianca for giving him a shout out. We try and always give a bit of focus to anyone that's been given a shout by friends and family and fans and all that sort of thing. So the Group B car looks a bit worse for wear. It's had a few scuffs on that new paint job, but all in all, I bet she's having a lot of fun out there, and back into 30th now, moving his way forward up 4 spots. He's got Greg Holmes, series organiser, just in front of him. One of the Group B drivers. He should be pretty proud of this series that he's created as well. Driven well in race 3, up 13 spots into 29th as well. Back to this Anthony Connors battle though. This is for 20th outright, or 19th I should say. He's got Mark Foster behind him, Nick Woods in there as well. Nick got punted earlier on in the race. He's got Jesse and then Graham Ellis. We haven't seen a lot of Graham tonight, but he's currently sitting in 23rd. Great supporter of my channel, and good to see him out there enjoying his racing tonight. The 55 car. Group B competitor, I'm on board with him now. So you can just hear the different sound of these motors. They're smoother, they're quieter. They're down on, I think, about 10 or 15 horsepower over the Group A cars as well. Hence why there's a difference in lap times of about 4 seconds a lap here at Sandown. Ellis getting a really good run there on Connors, then backs out of it at the last minute. Doesn't go through, but just on 10.5 minutes into this final race of the night now. This battle in the mid-pack is exceptional. Good wheel-to-wheel racing, good clean wheel-to-wheel racing. Andrew Roberts in the background as well here with Bard Rodkin. Bard's had a quiet night tonight. He's up 10 spots in this feature race though. And Roberts as well, just in front of him, is up 12 spots. Dylan Canto, another driver to mention, up 18 spots in the feature. Also trying to capitalise on what was a pretty ordinary start to the latter end of the evening with him. A new fastest lap for Boyd at the top. What has that done as far as bringing him back into this? Well, it's put him right on the tail of your race leader, Caleb Patterson, and they've got lap traffic getting amongst this as well. Oh, was that contact with Patterson? It was almost contact. Climbed up over the curb, and that was a heart and mouth moment for your race leader as he deals with the lap traffic. He's now got to get ahead of Thompson and Martindale, who's just in front, whilst keeping Jack Boyd at bay behind. This is where it gets interesting. You're trying to keep your eyes forward. You've also got one eye on the mirrors because you've got some really fast competitors in Boyd and Simon Joel Smith hunting you down. But you've got to try and plan your way. You know, the attack through the traffic here is not easy to do. As he goes round the outside, Jack Boyd around the outside of Patterson. That was a good move, but Patterson goes back down the inside. Good, hard racing between these two. A lot of oversteer as he comes off the curb. Boyd gets alongside again now, and Boyd should go into the lead. Depends how late he can brake here, because Patterson will have the inside line. He fights it, but Boyd does hang on and will take the lead of this race. Great race between them. Patterson comes back at him though. Down the inside, side drafting down the pit straight here at Sandown. We start lap 10, and there is absolutely nothing in it between these top competitors. Patterson leads from Boyd by half a car length as they cross the line. Great racing. Here comes Kyle Ridley on the brakes too. He has a look from the back. We're on board with him. He's right next to Simon Joel Smith. It was Patterson going wide over the curb. We'll leave a car width there to Simon Joel Smith just to let Ridley have a little look down the inside. And incredible what's happened to Boyd. Has he gone off the track? There's a couple of cars spearing off the track there. I'm not sure who the other one was. I think it was a lap car. It was Pears, I think. It all went pear-shaped for him. Benson now with a run on Cameron Edwards. Stay on board here. He's going to give a little bit of a nudge. There's the nudge. Hurry up, he says. You're holding me up. Fantastic. So 13 minutes in, 7 minutes to go in this final race of the evening, round 3. And here is the battle for the lead. So 6/10 cover the top 3, just under a second cover the top 4. All top 5 there within 1.2 seconds. So we're on for a treat here if they can keep it clean to finish off the night's racing. Can Jack Boyd take a win from P2 at this stage? I would put some money on him. I know Caleb's driven well tonight, but I reckon Jack's just holding back slightly. It's a real shame we don't have Hobbo in the mix as well, because Hobbo was driving superbly tonight, but his internet failure has meant we're not going to see any more of him, unfortunately. So the 888 there of Caleb Patterson leads us onto the back straight again with just on, I'd say to be about 5 minutes to go at the end of this lap. We should get 4 more laps in the race. Henry Fence has driven superbly, hasn't he? So is Cameron Edwards in 6th place. He's just in front of Fenton, the 46 car there for Frog Leap Juice Racing, holding his own. Meanwhile, Group B, I want to talk about Group B because Seeger and Losh are still super close together. I wonder if they're just spreading the love tonight. And it's going to be Damien's turn for a win. They're just running like the precision driving team. These two, they're just beautifully in tandem, lapping together, nice and consistent. They're about 5 seconds a lap off what the Group A cars are doing, but that doesn't matter. It's all about where you are for Group B. They're only looking at the Group B competitors. The outright doesn't really matter to them. They are dancing around trying to break the toe. They've got McMahon, who's just in behind. This is the onboard with McMahon. That's the view he has of the top 2 in his class. So just getting it nice and smooth downshift there, trying not to lock the rear. Get it nice and stable under brakes. Back to the front. So who's it going to be with 4 to go, 4 laps to go, so 3.5 laps to go? Is it going to be a Caleb Patterson win for race 3 to add to his collection from race 2? Or will it be Jack Boyd? What about Simon Joel Smith? Can he get up? What about Ridley and Dutch? They've still got an opportunity here. 1.5 seconds covering the top 5. They could still sneak through for a win. You never know. Something could happen between these top guys as well. They could wipe each other out. We have seen that happen before. As we sit on board with our race leader again. So he got the fastest lap of the race, didn't he? At this stage, it still goes to, in fact, it's Boyd with a 1:20.6. Now and then you do see a fastest lap, but I think they confiscate those laps if you do go off track. So Patterson go down the pit straight, and he'll hug the wall on the left-hand side. He's gone right across to the left-hand side pit wall. Now he goes back to the right. This is like watching Formula Fords. Love it. Down the pit straight here at Sandown, past the big shed, under the Penrite sign, going through. Now there's 3 or 4 lap cars up the road again here, which is going to play into the hands of Boyd, Simon Joel Smith. They might just try and get lucky on this. I'll tell you what, your race leader might get lucky and just catch them in a perfect spot, 2 down the back straight away, which means they'll just get out of the way, they'll lift out of the throttle. Shouldn't be too hard to deal with them. So Patterson, first of all, goes past Thorne. Next one will be Gordon, which he drops back now behind the race leader to be down a lap. And that now concludes overtaking for the next little part. The next one up the road's Jesse, who's 11 seconds up the road. So they should hopefully not catch Jesse. It'll go close towards the end of this race, but Jesse at the moment with that 10.5 second gap should be able to maintain for 2 more laps that distance, you would think. But Jack Boyd's starting to look very, very racy now, and maybe getting a little bit desperate too. You want to get through here, maybe with a lap to go, lead the final lap. See, the toe is strong, but I wouldn't back myself coming into the last lap, being P2. I would want to lead into the last lap in these cars. You can be defensive, especially down through the S's if you've got track position. Boyd has that now, leads the race from Patterson. Simon Joel Smith has just dropped off this lead battle now. He's got his own worries for P3. He's got Ridley, Dutch and Edwards tucked in behind. And I think his focus has now shifted from the top 2 and possibly getting a win tonight to holding on for a podium here. I'd say we'll get the white flag at the end of this lap too, just watching the timer tick down. I'd say we will. Jack Boyd's going to lead us. Oh, he goes Caleb Patterson, dives to the inside. There's a late dive, tried to balk him a little bit too. They go close, side by side down the S's. And Boyd stays in front. Ridley also stays in front of Joel Smith and Dutch. But looking at the timer countdown, we're just on to nearly 15 seconds to go till it's 19 minutes past, and we'll get the white flag most definitely at the end of this lap. On board with Jack Boyd. Watch for the flag marshal up in the top right of your screen. There he is, waving that white flag. So 1 to go. Here comes Caleb Patterson. Pulls out to the right-hand side. They're wheel-to-wheel down the pit straight. Now late on the brakes, is he? Not late enough. So Boyd maintains the lead into this final lap now of this race. Race 3 of the evening. It's been a great night of entertainment from Sandown. This track continues to deliver as it has from day dot of being included in the iRacing network. It's a superb track. Just lends itself to good racing. Ridley in the background. That was Simon Joel Smith, almost found the fence. He's pushing so hard to try and get that podium. Boyd and Patterson wheel to wheel for the final time down the back straightaway. Patterson just a nose length in front now, but Boyd crucially has the inside line. This will come down to the wire between these two. Can they keep it clean though? They've got to leave enough room here. Boyd stays in front, Patterson backed out, but then a big late dive. Patterson down the inside. Good effort. He goes over the curb. Now he punts Boyd off. He may need to redress that position, which will help Ridley go through. Simon Joel Smith goes through as well. Now does Boyd think there's a redress on the way? Because if there is, unfortunately, it's going to be very hard to do now. The checker flag's going to drop for Caleb Patterson. He's going to get 2 wins tonight, but we will have a look at that incident and we'll see what you make of it. Will there be a post-race penalty? Simon Joel Smith gets on the podium behind Kyle Ridley, who gets second. He's pretty happy with that. We might listen in and see if there's a bit of talk about that incident at the end. Was it hard, fair racing? We'll find out shortly, but wow. It was definitely full on as we see Damien Seeger for Group B coming down towards the final couple of corners. He's going to win it ahead of his teammate Wayne Losh, and what a great night it's been for WBT Racing, taking a clean sweep, some 1-2s, and they'll be absolutely stoked with that. So fantastic racing. Let's go back and have a look at that incident as we see the checker flag drop for Group B. And Damien Seeger takes the win from Wayne Losh and Steve McMahon. They take out Group B tonight. Let's see if we can go back and find that incident quickly. Right, the checker flag with Caleb Patterson and Jack Boyd getting together. There it was. We'll just wind it back a little bit. Here it is from the overhead shot. And I reckon Boyd will feel a little bit hard done by here. So it was a big dive down the inside. And he was never really going to make the corner, was he, Patterson? So you can see he desperately got across the curb in the end. What do you guys think at home? So there was the big dive down the inside. He then goes all four wheels off the circuit. Boyd leaves a bit of space. Had to turn in eventually, but Boyd then gets clobbered and out into the dirt there. I think you'll find there'll be a post-race penalty on that one. But that's not for me to say. We'll leave that up to the stewards, of course. So good racing. We'll talk to our top three shortly. And then we'll wrap it all up here on Race Stars TV from round number 3 of the Roadster Rumble here at Sandown. Let's go across to the broadcast booth. Now we'll bring up the final results for the feature race as well. First of all, we'll go through our Group A. And there it was, Patterson, Ridley and Joel Smith provisionally 1.5 seconds covering the top 3. Group B tonight as well. This is how they ended up. It was a win to the WBT Racing, Damien Seeger, Wayne Losh and Steve McMahon, top 3. Fantastic job. Let's head across now and talk to some drivers. We've got, first of all, our Group A. We'll get them in there. And Caleb Patterson, mate, crazy end of the race. Talk us through that last couple of corners. Was there anything you think will come about from the stewards with Boydie there?
Oh, yeah, look, I think there might be a little bit come about, but look, I was up beside him and it was a good race other than that between myself and Jack, having a good little battle there. But, you know, I texted Jack after the race and said, hey, mate, was that all good on your end? What do you think? And he said all good, so unsure what will happen there. But, yeah, other than that, it was a great race and heaps of fun.
Mate, it's so exciting to watch these cars moving around. Sandown once again delivering a good format for racing. It's just such a great circuit, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's great. It was awesome to watch the supercar events there on the weekend and then get to race it, you know, Monday night. But yeah, look, my cheeks are sore, mate. I'm smiling too much at the moment.
So good. And Kyle, mate, you got yourself P2 there. We saw you come across the line, shaking the car side to side. You're pretty stoked with that one.
Yeah, I'm really happy with it. It was a difficult start of the 3 races, and just to bring it home with a podium. My first Group A podium too, so I'm really stoked with it.
Oh, fantastic drive, mate. And we haven't got Simon here, have we? So we'll skip straight to some thank yous for our top 2. Caleb, who would you like to thank first of all, mate? Actually, before you do, Simon has rocked up. So hello, Simon. Well done, mate. P3 tonight. Well done. And, you know, up position in that feature, some good hard racing. That was fun.
Thank you very much for that. I got nothing but Owen to credit for everything he's done for me and everything got me up the front here. So it's a big thanks to him for all this. So that was good racing tonight. Awesome.
Yeah, so good to watch. Let's do the top 3 thank yous before we move over to Group B. So starting with you, Caleb, tonight, a couple of wins in the bag for Group A. Well done. Who would you like to thank?
Oh, I'd just like to thank the boys that are always in the Discord with me. And, you know, Graham and Owen bought me this new rig only, Friday. So put it together and put some lap downs yesterday, and oh man, it's made me quicker again. So just like to thank them, and you know, Roof Space Renovators, WorkApp and 4B Business Group. Yeah, and just, you know, the message, hashtag it ain't weak to speak.
So good, mate. Well done. Excellent drive tonight. Kyle, who would you like to thank, mate? P2?
I want to thank, of course, Greg, Damien, and everybody who puts their time into this league. It's a great league we have, and also my new team, Frog Leap Juiced Racing.
Yeah, great looking race car, mate. You should be proud to be a part of that. It's a great team to be, you know, an extra person in the stable. So well done, Kyle. And then P3, finally, who would you like to thank? Simon for third in the race.
First of all, Owen and Owen Coleman for helping me out, everything he's done, and Motorsport Hauler and VIP Transport, and then the wife for looking after the kids and allowing me to be out here.
That's it, fantastic, mate. So your top 3 in Group A tonight in the feature final race. Caleb Patterson with the win, Kyle Ridley P2, and Simon Joel Smith. Congratulations, well done, boys.
Thanks for that.
Right, Group B then. Damien, you've got a win over Wayne there in the final one. Great to see both of you guys, you know, throughout the race tonight. I was calling it a bit of precision driving, following the leader, some formation flying. Great for the team to get some good results tonight.
Yeah, thanks, Luke. It was really good. It's really good fun to be out there racing with Loshie. We got the P1 and 2 races in a row, which is really good. It's really good for Team WBT, so pretty happy with that. And any chance that Loshie was going to send one on you in that final race? There was, but I think he caught a little bit of the grass at the end there, but I definitely felt it coming, that's for sure.
So good to watch. And mate, Wayne, you had a great run tonight, couple of wins, wasn't it? So well done.
Yeah, thank you. I'm enjoying coming and talking to you each week at the end of racing. It's a new experience for me and it's a lot of fun. So, A little bit hard at the start of the races because these 2010s get off the mark better than the 16s. So
Right.
when you're on the front grid, you're sort of getting alongside the 16s, and you don't want to race them into the first corner because you know they're going to get away from you. But you want to try to build a gap on third, fourth, and fifth. So it's really tricky getting off the mark and through the first couple of corners. But everyone kept me really honest tonight. It certainly wasn't easy, and there was, I think, about 2 laps from the end, I was thinking about giving it a send into the fast left, and all I could see was putting 2 WBT cars into the wall. So I thought better of it.
Yeah, you don't want that. It's so good for your team. So we'll do some thank yous. Obviously, I think you've probably outscored Damien tonight, but we'll start with Damien. Who would you like to thank, mate, for the win in the final race?
Yeah, cheers, Luke. Yeah, thanks to Simworx Race Labs, Palmer's Australia for the big sponsor there, and Greg and the team, all the admin boys in the Discord there. A bit of hard work goes into this series, and it really pays off in the end, and it's really good to come in here on a Monday night, just enjoy ourselves and forget about life for about an hour or so.
That's it. That's good. And Wayne, anyone you want to add to that?
Yeah, mate, just Race Stars TV. Damo covered all the other sponsors off, so I won't echo all those remarks. Thanks to you, Luke, for putting on a good broadcast and having a chat with us at the end of each race. And as Damo said, it's just good to escape for a little while and have some fun. Thanks heaps.
No, you guys do a great job. I don't often give, as much time to the Group Bs, but I tell you what, when I look back there and see some of the battles, it's pretty mega. So, loving the format, loving the 2 classes and Group B. You guys have sewn it all up tonight. Well done.
Thanks, Luke.
Cheers. Cheers. All right, well, that's it for tonight. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. It's been another great night of MX5 racing on a Monday for the Roadster Rumble. We'll be back next Monday with round number 4. Till then, I'm Luke. This is Race Stars TV. Take care, guys, and good night.